Hi everybody, I'm here to report on last night's 2-1 defeat in Pilsen in the Champions League qualifier. And who would have thought that Rangers fans would actually be delighted at our first defeat of this season? Because the only thing that matters is getting through to the playoff round. And there we'll meet Bruges, who will be far too good for us unless we step up our performances, and we'll end up in the Europa League, which is really our standard, and at least €5 million better off when we get ejected. So at least that money can go towards hopefully buying a striker, if nobody else. What can I say about last night's game? For a start, two changes. Tavernier comes in for Aarons, who apparently had a knock, so he wasn't even in the squad. So there you go, new player. Well, this is his sixth game, and he's taken a knock, and he can't play. And then Rothwell, another great white hope, he doesn't even start either. In fact, he hasn't even finished a game so far. So there's two of the manager's big signings, and they either get injured or they can't play 90 minutes, or even when they do, as in Aaron's case, they don't look that good. So that sums it up this far in the season. So anyhow, what was the matter with last night? Just the same old, same old. Too slow, too pedestrian, not enough energy, not enough determination, pace. It looked as if they were suffering from information overload. It was like they had to think before they did anything, pass it, run with it. Football's a simple game. It's not rocket science. We don't need some clever clogs manager trying to complicate everything by giving these players so much information they're afraid to actually play. At times it looks as if they're either too cautious or they're too scared to actually play. It's as if they have to think, well, what did the manager say I have to do in this situation? The best teams have players who have a football awareness and brain, and they can do things off the cuff. They can see when to pass it, when to hold the ball, when to run, where to run. Our guys don't seem to be able to do that. They seem to think, what did the manager tell me I should do in this situation? So take the two wingers. Last week they looked unstoppable against this team at Ibrox. Last night they were getting the ball to their feet, back to goal, a couple of defenders around them. Nothing's going to happen when that's the situation. Messi wouldn't create anything at his best in that situation. So, wrong passing, wrong movement, or lack of movement. The other worrying thing is, I think that team had about 20 odd shots at goal and about 10 on target, which is just ridiculous. That just shows how many possible chances we're offering up to the opposition. I saw a stat this morning saying basically in the 6 competitive games we've offered up almost 100 shots at goal. Now that tells you everything. We've got these video analysts and managers and these coaches. Do they not look at this sort of stuff and go, why are we giving the opposition so many chances to score? If that's nearly 100 at goal, there's bound to have been dozens and dozens on target. So thankfully, the one guy who's playing well right now is the goalkeeper. Butland again last night was the only man who played well. He made about 3 or 4 really good saves, especially in a period, 20 minutes from the end, where they looked like scoring, and he saved us, 3 or 4 times, and then they eventually did score. So good on Jack Butland, although he still makes us have heart attacks, well, me especially, when he tries to play the ball out, especially when he's playing out to the likes of Suter or Shefty, and anything can happen once it reaches them. So well done the goalkeeper. Everybody else, absolute disgrace. Show a bit of courage, show a bit of adventure, show a bit of belief in yourself, and go at people, pass it forward. Don't do this sideways passing it back the way, hanging on to it too long. It's just a recipe for disaster in any kind of game, even when we're playing like Alloa on Saturday, or St Mirren, even worse, the next week, now that we're not going to postpone that game. So I think the only reason that they're not postponing that is because big Giga would miss the Celtic game thanks to his red card. So they've obviously opted from missing St Mirren, even if that's a dodgy game to play, 3 or 4 days before you play a Champions League playoff game against a team that's better than you. So anyhow, we just hope they can somehow play like real players, not robots. Show what you're made of, show your skill, go at the opposition, have a bit of confidence. This manager is draining it all out of them with all his tactics and information overload and playing right-footed guys on the left and vice versa. It's just a recipe for disaster. So we've got to overcome that. We at least survived until, just before half-time last night. And then the goal it came, typical, long ball, Shefty's stranded, the guy gets past him, Shefty falls over on his face, the guy gets to the byline, and when you see it again, you know the ball's going to be cut back into the box. We had 3 players, 2 central defenders, I don't know who the other one was, all ball watching. Meanwhile, the 2 strikers have hung back, and that's where the ball's going to go. And sure enough, the cut back goes to the 2 strikers. Either of them could have put it in the net, and it was the second one who just put it into the net because we were ball watching. Nobody marking them, nobody looking at them or in front of them to try and block it. Just typical goal for us to lose. So it was looking bad at half time. Thankfully, we got a goal just before the hour mark, and this came from the only thing Diamandi did right. He chased a Suter long ball, caught it before it went over the byline, looked up, cut it back to Danilo. A proper striker would have just lashed it into the net. No, he makes a mess of his shot, but thankfully Lyle Cameron was running into the box and he just got there and prodded it in. He was onside because the guy who had been with Diamandi near the byline, he was still near the byline, so there was no way Cameron was offside. So 1 each, half an hour to go, tie's over, so let's really go at them, finish them off. No, the usual. We think we've won it, just sit back, let them come at you, everything will be okay. And of course everything wasn't okay because they scored with 10 minutes to go, but even then it was too little too late. So just poor tactics, even worse, poor performances from everybody, giving the ball away, poor passing, not making the runs. I think we had 2 shots on target. I think we had about 10 shots total at goal. I mean, just ridiculous. And that's with us having the majority of possession, but we're doing nothing with it. So this system is going to just be the same as the other 3 managers or whatever if you can't get these guys to play football instead of playing in their head the way he seems to have instructed them. So it's not looking good at this point. Even the second goal for Pilsen, when it came, a ball into the box, there's a guy standing on the 6-yard line. He didn't have to jump for it, he just sort of ducked and headed it into the net. Nobody near him. And yet the manager in this morning's papers is praising Suter and Giga and the goalkeeper for being brilliant defensively. And that was the 2 goals for Pilsen. Central defenders, nowhere near the guy who's going to put the ball in the net. Ball watching, not even looking at the guy who's behind them. And yet they're getting praise by the manager. And of course he did praise Dud Dowell, who came on with 20 minutes to go. That's when you know you're really in trouble. Dud Dowell comes on. Well, what's he going to do? Well, the answer is nothing. But he's still trying to make his point that this guy might be a good player for us. We know he's not, so just get rid of him. Talking of getting rid of people, Drossers went down injured early in the second half, I think it was. And it was his own fault. He playing for a foul. Guy hardly touched him, and the way he went down, he must have twisted his ankle or something. I read this morning he's got his ankle or his foot in a brace. So rather than getting rid of him for 4 or 5 million euros, we're now going to be lumbered with him because it doesn't look the kind of injury that will clear up before the transfer window shuts. So nobody's going to buy him now, even if they were ever going to buy him. So we're lumbered with him for at least another 4 months or something. And well, hopefully, on the bright side, he'll have to be omitted from the team unless they want to play him with the boot on. It wouldn't make any difference. He'd lumber about and just do his stuff, even if he was wearing an ankle boot. So I was pleased to see that because I thought this clown is out the team at last. But the downside, we won't be able to sell him now. So disaster all round. But on the other positive note, surely we'll have to spend some of that money, especially the 5 million euros were guaranteed, on a proper striker. So get back into the Tursherman and bring him in, and hopefully he can accompany Igaman or sell Igaman as well, and we'll have even more money to splurge before the transfer window ends. At least we're into the next round. I've got my ticket already for Tuesday, but I can't say I'm looking forward to it.